Hello guys, welcome back. So in the last video we have seen how to create a function and how to pass and add parameters to a function. So in this video we are going to see the lifecycle methods or the lifecycle functions of Godot engine. But before that I just want to continue to the last video and show you one thing that the in this particular like in this example that we saw in the previous video, here I am passing this random value, my parameter as a string and num underscore 2. So even though that I have defined that this function should take only two integers and not any string or anything, still my editor is not showing me any error. It's showing as if that this statement is fine. And when I hit play, it is showing error only when it is getting executed. Now, this is happening because the random value, the variable that I have given, I have not defined that what type of data that this value, I mean this this variable is going to hold. So let's say if I define that, so let's say, sorry, so let's say if I define this as a string, so now the editor knows that this random value variable is going to hold only string value. So right away you can see now it is showing me before going into play mode. Now it is showing me the error. So likewise, I can now change this to num underscore 1 in order to fix the error. Hello guys, welcome back. So in the previous video, we have seen how we can create a function and how we can pass and add parameters to it. Now in this video, we are going to see the Godot's lifecycle methods. So before proceeding forward, let's take a minute and understand what are the lifecycle methods. So these methods or the functions are basically the basic Godot functions which gets executed in a particular manner. So let's have a look at these basic methods. So the first three basic methods is basically underscore init, underscore ready, and underscore function. Sorry, process. Okay. So how do we define them? Is basically func and then underscore init. So this is the function that gets executed for the very first time. Okay, whenever your code runs. So let's say let me write it. Print hello, I am getting called from oops, from init. Okay, then let us define another function called ready. So here this ready function we have used it previously as well. So I am getting called from ready, and then we have a loop function which we saw in previous videos, process. So print hello, I am getting called from process. Okay, so now we have defined three functions which are reserved for Godot engine. So how that works is basically first the init function gets called, and here if you want to initialize any variable, you can do all of those things. Underscore ready gets called after the init function is executed. So after the init function has completed its execution, then underscore ready function gets called. And once the underscore ready function completes its execution, after that underscore process function gets called, and this is a loop function. So basically it runs in a loop every frame. Okay, so how does that work? Let us see. Just press play, and right away you can see here in my exclamation box a little message box is there, and as you can see the count is getting increased. So basically this hello I am getting called from process is running in a loop every frame. So let me just stop it, and you can see that if I try to scroll it up, so I'm getting called from process, this message has printed. But in the first, if you see, the very first message that has printed is hello, I am getting called from init. After that we got a message hello, I am getting called from ready, and after that we are getting called from process. So this process message is coming again and again. because as I told you, the process function is a loop function, so it gets called every frame in a loop. Basically the FPS in a, if you are a gamer and you have some gaming context, you must have heard about FPS, frames per second. So basically this is the that frames that is getting called every second. So based on how complex your game is, this frames per second may vary. Okay, so now that you understand that this underscore init and underscore ready, let us see that how exactly we are going to use it. So let's say that I have a variable. So let's say var name. Oh, okay. Let's say my name. I am not using name because name is a reserved keyword for Godot, this node class. So if I use name right away, it will throw an error. So yeah, you can see it is throwing an error. So let me just rename it to my name. Okay, so now in the init function, let me just use that as my name equal to, let's say, Shashwat. And here in my ready function, let me just remove the process function, because process function as of now we are not going to use. So in my ready function, let me just print it. Print, let's say print my name. Sorry. And now again, I can change it to something else. Something, let's type in something else. I'm very sorry, I'm very bad at naming. So yeah, I wrote something like this. Now I press play, and as you can see, we get this message, hello, I'm getting called from init. So basically this function is getting called in the first phase. Then I am getting called from ready. So basically here in the compiler is coming here, then Shashwat. So basically here whatever the value that I had assigned is coming over here, and then I changed my value to something else, and then something else is coming. So so basically these two methods are very useful, and it really doesn't matter which method you use to initialize your variable. You can either use init or you can use underscore ready as well. Now let me just tell you one quick tip, that let's say you want to initialize your variable using this underscore init function. So as if, let's say if I remove this as like this, now there is a shortcut in Godot to which means basically the same. All right, so what we can do here is, if I, let's say if I want to write up like if I want to define a variable and I want to initialize it in the init function, underscore init function. So instead of writing the entire function name like func underscore init and then defining a variable, these things, what we can do over here is we can type in @on ready. Okay, @on ready where, and let's say my name, and let's initialize it to Shashwat. So now right away you can see that this is showing an error because my name is already been used. So let me just remove that, and let me just remove this also. So what I'll do is I'll use the hash to comment this one out. So now you can see that this my name I have defined, and let me see, my name has the same name. Okay, so basically here I'm I think yes, it is all okay. Now all I have to do is press play, and now you can see right away that the Shashwat is coming. So let me just even remove these codes also, just to simplify it further. So let me just remove this one away. So basically @on ready. So what is this? So basically it's the same as writing up this thing. So let me just make it S so that you can visualize it better. So @onready where my name and equal to Shashwat. So what is essentially happening is basically it is telling the compiler that whenever the init function gets called, so create a variable called my name and initialize a value of string to it. So it's basically the same thing. So if I just want, I will remove this. So it's nothing but @onready is just telling the compiler to use the init function and then initialize this variable and pass this string to this variable. So if I hit play, it will run like any normal statement. So yeah, that one was the shortcut. If you want to use that, so use it, but use it carefully. And because the onready, it is advisable to use onready with the variables in which you want to add a node, so that when the node is ready, only then the value gets assigned. So yeah, that is very helpful, one handy function for us provided by Godot. So in the next video, we are going to see the conditional statements and how we can use it. So see you in the next video.